now that you're on, we can actually start the recording.
Awesome.
uh, so, anyways, this is Crystal.
Hey, everyone.
Hey,
Okay, let's do this. I don't know. Ron, is she already on the rotation on MSP Waves? Because you've been on Hive for a while, so I don't know if you actually in the rotation or not.
I don't even know.
But anyways, so give us a little bit of background. Where are you from? Yeah, Ron, on Jukebox.
Oh, gosh. Well, I don't know. Like what background? Music background?
Yeah,
I'm from
everything.
Texas, and I studied music. I have a degree in vocal performance uh, from Texas Christian University, and I spent the last 10 years in Canada, and now I'm back. I'm living in Arkansas right now, and
Oh, sweet.
I do a lot of just recording. Most everything I've recorded has been from my home, and yeah.
awesome.
That is cool. What part of Arkansas? Because I used to drive truck and I went through Arkansas twice a week.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm up in Northwest Arkansas, up in like Fayetteville.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a nice spot. It's beautiful here.
Yes, it is. That's a surprisingly that's a really beautiful place of art. Side of
It's
Arkansas.
like a little kept secret, right? It's like an area
Yeah.
no one knows about. That's really cool.
Oh yeah. So Julia's in charge of the jukebox. Oh, you're gonna have to crack the whip around and get Julia to make sure she's in there.
Get some of your songs on it.
Absolutely. What we did was while you were getting your microphone situated, we played December in Your Arms and The Frozen Word.
Nice.
December in Your Arms to me is, you sent me this and I'm like, dude, that's my favorite one. I've listened to that probably, well, I've had this for what, a week ago when you sent me that on Twitter. And I think I've probably heard it at least 9 or 10 times.
That's awesome.
That's my favorite one out of all the ones that you sent me. It's something about it's kind of bluesy.
Yeah.
It's still kind of not, and kind of easy going, and it's just like, dude, it's keeps me on the edge of my seat because I'm waiting for the, 'cause that's the kind of music I listen to.
Yeah.
One has an all metal head.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
But it's got and the Frozen Word's got a great build up in it.
Thanks.
And
Yeah.
Polar sent me 2 songs that you want us to play tonight sometime.
Yeah.
And I gave them a listen before the show, and they are very awesome.
Awesome.
I like them.
Awesome. Thanks.
I don't
Yeah.
remember which desktop I put them on. There it is. So have you just always been into music, or?
No, it was like something I was born with, I guess. Just born this way.
So you got a very musical family?
You know what? Not particularly. It's kind of weird. I was raised by my grandparents, and neither of them were musical. But my biological father, my dad, is a musical guy. So I guess I probably got it from him. But yeah, I was like always like as soon as I could talk, I was singing, and it just constantly that was like I was raised an only child, so I was like performing for my stuffed animals and stuff when I was a kid to kind of entertain myself, And like by the time I was 10, I was asking for piano and stuff, or 8 or 9 even. So I started taking lessons then, and it was just like I don't know, just something that I was constantly always wanting to be involved in.
Very cool.
Yeah. I was lucky to have parents that supported that.
Cool. So what really are your influences? Like, have they always remained the same, or is there like any more dominant influence now than there was when you were younger,
Uh,
growing up, or
yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I think that my influence has always been really broad. I grew up on classical rock or classic rock. I love Pink Floyd and all the old stuff. I was a huge fan of Pink Floyd. And then, but I mean, Radiohead and stuff too, even, the more alternative stuff. But then at the same time, I was always like really into like, musical theater, and I loved the Phantom of the Opera and all that. I was also super obsessed with Louis Prima when I was like in the fourth grade, and that's like swing jazz music. Louis Prima and Ray Charles. I don't know, like I'm obsessed. And I was really little, like all my friends were listening to like the New Kids on the Block, and I was like the weirdo that listened to Ray Charles. So there was, that. But yeah, and then like more into like my high school, later high school and college, it was more like Tori Amos was a huge, like probably my biggest influence because I started discovering like the piano singer songwriters and Fiona Apple and those women that play and sing so well. So that really was a huge influence as well. And then just into like indie rock and stuff like that too.
cool. You mentioned Phantom of the Opera. And, I've been a very musical dude. I'm not professional or anywhere near your quality, or 99% of the rest of the world's quality. But
Oh,
my
You're your own worst critic.
it's true. But my daughter, she's very artistic, not just in drawing art, but music and dancing and everything. And when she was young, she was probably 6 or so, and we was watching Phantom of the Opera on TV. It was an actual live performance of it, and or recorded live. And she come in, she's watching it, and she's getting into it. It's her first experience with that kind of a dramatic musical.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's only 6. And at the end, where she plants the big kiss on the Phantom, my daughter's mouth fell open, and she goes, "Huh? Didn't see that one coming."
That's adorable.
oh,
Yeah, ever since she's been a Phantom of the Opera fan.
Oh yeah, that's great. Such a good one.
But anyways, I digress. Back to you. What's some who would be your biggest influence now?
Ah, you know what? It's so hard to like pick just one. But I think Tori Amos was huge. Like, and then Regina Spektor is probably my favorite artist. She's amazing.
Cool.
She's kind of like Tori, but I think she's more listenable. Like in a way, like her voice is really beautiful. And Tori's like a little bit raw and rough, which I love, but I think Regina Spektor's voice is amazing, and she's got some really like avant-garde, really like just weird, it's like weird for the sake of weird, kind of, and I love that. So I loved, those songs like that don't really fit in a box. It's cool to me. Also, I mean, I love Agnes Obel too. She's another one.
Cool.
Trying to think. Andrew Bird is amazing. He's not a piano player; he's a violinist and a guitarist. He's like an incredible singer-songwriter. So I think those are all my main ones.
So, of those influences there, if you ever had the chance to do a collaboration with one on either just a single song or a full on
Yeah.
long play, who would you want to do that with?
I think Andrew Bird, because I mean, it wouldn't even make sense to collaborate really with another piano player. I mean, you could do dueling pianos. Andrew Bird's amazing though, like he does actually collaborate with a lot of people, so that would be amazing. He's
That's cool.
an incredible artist. And he's collaborated with Fiona Apple and all kinds of people, all kinds of artists. So that would be cool.
Okay, we're going to play a song here. I want you to give us a little story behind it,
Sure.
as in it's broke out.
Oh yeah.
What's the story behind that?
Awesome. Yeah. So Broke Out is actually Peeking Through the Noise song, and Peeking Through the Noise is just a duo that I have with a producer friend in New York, Joseph A. He does like pretty much all my production as it is anyway, even on my solo work. But we also have this little duo electronic thing going on. And Broke Out is, yeah, it's just a cool song. It's about sort of breaking out of an abusive relationship and sort of that crime of passion. And it's, yeah, like, what I like about it is that it feels really Pink Floyd inspired to me. I like that about it. But yeah, it's a cool tune. It's a little bit dark.
The dark is good.
Yeah.
It's not dark, it's dramatic.
Yes. Dramatic.
Okay, here we go. It's broke out.
You keep for kicks. I said
Somebody's dog barking.
That might be me. The neighbor dog is barking. Sorry.
Yes,
it came,
there
it
we go.
came back. The
Yeah,
music ended, and I hear the dog barking, and I'm like, I didn't hear that part a while ago.
I want to do that like right in the middle of the song and stuff, you know.
Well, I
Perfect.
had it muted on OBS, so
Uh, cool.
I love the crescendo. The
Yeah,
last part of that song is like, yeah, 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 So, but I said
awesome
we'd
song.
come back. I'd let Polar talk. So the floor is yours, Polar.
Hey, Crystal, well, apart from what Bonehead was saying, I wanted to ask you, like, what other genre would you like to incorporate in your music that you haven't incorporated yet? Like, you know,
Yeah, that's a great question. Like, I don't know. It's hard because like I don't really see genre too much. Like, and I feel like I incorporate a lot. I think the only sorry, that was my wine glass. I think the only ones that haven't really hit, I guess, maybe are like hip hop and like metal. That would be cool. Like to do something like extra heavy. I mean, I've done stuff kind of word I'm looking for now. Well, shoot, no, I can't think of it, but uh, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, maybe
Hmm.
you could do a little song with Uncle Bonehead one day. He can
Yeah,
put a little metal groove together, and then he can put you in a little chorus or you
yeah,
know.
that would be cool.
Got one going
Definitely,
already
definitely.
with Raven.
Oh
If we
yeah,
ever get time to do it.
that was awesome too. That's Bonehead's got some awesome stuff too. I really haven't heard a song that I didn't like from you. Like all your songs, I'm pretty sure are good. I have not heard a bad song yet. Uh,
Oh, that's
you
nice.
have.
Thank you.
I I do
I would
have a
hope people uh see see more of you on Hive and stuff because I think a lot more people should see.
Yeah, thanks. I need to
I,
put more stuff up on the Hive too. I gotta get on that. I think I've done some of it, but I haven't put everything out there yet. So
yeah.
Well,
I'll be working on that. And I've got some new music coming up too, so that'll come soon enough.
Yay.
Yeah.
awesome, awesome.
I got one question I gotta ask.
Uh-huh.
The song I'm not going to try to pronounce it because I will screw it up, but it's spelled Damocles.
Damocles.
That's how you say that.
Yes.
Is that a Greek god or something like that?
It's actually a myth. Yeah, that whole album is sort of based on mythology and fairy
Okay.
tales and anything like that. So the sword of Damocles is a Greek myth about the king Damocles. And I think it's, if I remember correctly, I've been drinking wine. The guy, like a peasant, basically comes to him and says he wants to know what it's like to be the king, right? And the king says, here, sit under this sword that's hanging by a single horsehair. And then you'll know what it's like to basically be in charge of a whole country. So it's sort of that feeling of, having something hanging over your head when you have something to lose, that feeling of impending doom, because what you can lose.
Okay, so that's where I've seen the word before then.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was a Greek god, but I'm like, I don't remember that being a god.
Well, it's close. Very close. A
Okay.
Greek king.
Okay, back to you, Polar. Sorry.
Uh, I also got another question. Like, out of all the music that you've done, all from all this time, which song would you consider your best of all personal favorite of all time?
Sure, yeah. I think I love Broke Out. I think that was one of those that's for PTTN for Peeking Through the Noise. That's I think our one of our best. For my me solo, Tabula Rasa is probably my favorite. It's hard to pick. I mean, but yeah, I like Tabula Rasa. It came out really nicely. I think the production Joseph produced that, and it really came out nice.
I see. It's a tough question when it's questions when you got so many songs you've made that are that are pretty good.
Yeah, it's hard to be. I don't know. It's hard to pick. Yeah, they're all my babies. So.
No doubt. Now you said that was Rasa.
Tabula Rasa. Yeah, which means blank slate.
Means what?
Blank slate.
Oh,
On the
blank
slate.
slate.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool. So I'm guessing that's what the song is about: is wiping your slate clean and.
Yeah, it's depression, being sort of coming out of your depression and starting over. You got to get through that darkness to kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel. Start.
Cool.
That's cool. That's cool.
Do we want to play this? Don't we?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Some nights I'm just flatlining, riding an unbent coaster through the void, like an arrow through a great gorge that never or a rattle that sighs from a lung that gives in. Some nights all is quiet inside, and static but gently moving too, like a paper airplane on an empty hall. I'm just gliding and it's getting I'm just a shadow moving across the wall without a noise, like a puppet through a light screen, dancing but bound, or a storybook boy that won't grow up or come down. Some nights all is quiet inside, and static but gently moving too, like a paper airplane on an empty hall. I'm just gliding some nights all is silently torn, but we're holding its free and mysterious way, like a deer cut from its hole, the hungry road.
That was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was some killer dynamics, dude. It was nice and sweet, and kind of you get the feeling of being depressed, and then all of a sudden, bam, pull your straps up and move your ass, and then boom, 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 and back
Got a lot
down
of
a little
moving
bit.
music.
Yeah, I
A
like
lot of
that.
people can relate.
For sure.
Then when it switched, I knew I shouldn't have left my headphones that high. Whew, man, it did lift my headphones off my head. I was like, holy cow, that was a little loud.
Yeah. Uh,
It was awesome.
yeah, thanks.
That's the perfect kind of music to have right there.
Yeah.
Now, you said something earlier about your recording setup? You do all your recording and stuff at the house, and then mix it yourself, or do you ship it out to be mixed? Or
So yeah, like pretty much everything is with my friend Joseph there. I've also worked with a friend in Toronto, he goes by Reflected Illusions. That's for the electronic stuff. I should have sent you guys some of the electronic stuff, but yeah, for the most part. So basically, yeah, I just record it at home from my little home studio, and then me and Joseph share the files on like drive, just back and forth constantly. He does the mixing and usually does the mastering. Sometimes we'll have another friend do mastering, but like I'll just we just go back and forth, feedback, and listening, and messing with levels and ideas until we get what we want.
wow, so you got some good friends.
I'm very lucky.
Well, it helps when you got talent too, I guess. But I got all the recording stuff, and I like to play with stuff, but I'm too embarrassed to show my stuff to everybody.
Oh, well, you shouldn't be. You gotta show it.
Uncle's got some good stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's fun working with people for sure. It really makes it all worth it. Like, I mean, you could do it all yourself, but it's not quite the same. That's one of the best things about music is collaborating.
Do you go out and perform live anywhere, or is that kind of?
Used to, yeah, like when I was younger, I definitely, yeah, like back in Fort Worth and stuff, I used to perform live here and there, and even in Toronto, but then the COVID thing happened. I don't know, it's just so comfortable to sit at home and record and just release stuff online all the time. But maybe I'm not counting it out. Like, I would
Oh,
for
lost
sure.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, am I there now?
There you
Yep. We hear you.
You cut out like right in the middle of your sentence.
Oh, yeah, technology.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a while since I performed, but I definitely, I've done that, just not lately.
So where can people find you? I mean, you got a website and all that?
Yes, crystalcasey.com and pretty much everywhere. Yeah, I'm on all the streaming services, Spotify, Apple, that stuff. A little bit like on Hive, I've got some stuff there. And yeah, crystalcasey.com is my website. Everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna type it
Make sure
down.
I get all those in the show notes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what else did we? Oh, I always ask people, about recording at home and or in a studio or whatever, and I never bother to ask them, what do you use to record?
So it's funny because I'm a little bit in transition right now because of the move and everything, but I used to use everything that you've heard. I've used just a Behringer, just a little preamp that goes in the computer, and then I record onto Ableton Live. My keyboard's like a Roland, an old Roland that I've had for years. It's like an antique now, and I love it. But yeah, just really basic setup. Not much to it.
old school for the win.
Yeah, for real.
I like the old school stuff too. I've got a couple of interfaces laying around, but I never really got into recording until I got, like computer stuff. But
Yeah.
what do you use on the computer to record with?
Right now, you know what? I just picked up one of these little Focusrite Scarlett, if that's what you mean, like the interface.
Yeah.
Before I was using a Behringer, and it's always served me well. People are kind of, I think, iffy on Behringer, but I never had any issues. Got the old 5-prong MIDI, which is really outdated now.
Well,
So yeah,
I've got a Behringer UCA 202, I think it is.
yeah.
It's just about the size of a cassette tape.
Oh, it's tiny.
You remember those? This thing is probably the oldest piece of equipment I've got, and that's what the interface is for my music computer, which is
That's
my
cool.
Chromebook.
Yeah,
Into the mixer on the other computers.
yeah,
Still works.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. The old stuff works forever. It's all this new stuff that breaks right away.
Yep,
But my
exactly.
Behringer, yeah, it's a FCA 16 or something like that. 16. It's like a we used Firewire, and then like I store and they're like Firewire. Who uses that anymore? Sorry, but yeah. So I got this little right because I'm on a different keyboard for now, and it doesn't have the old 5-prong MIDI. It's got the USB MIDI. So I don't know. My equipment situation is kind of a mess right now, but it'll get back on track.
That's cool. See, the one problem people run into nowadays is they'll get all this fancy equipment stuff to record, and then they can do all this stuff with the software, make it sound great, and this, that, and the other. And then they go try to play live somewhere, and they're like, they don't sound nothing like they did on the recording, and people
Yeah, for sure.
kind of disappointed.
Yeah, yeah, it's a different world with everything being online, everything
Right.
for sure.
I remember watching, I think it was VH1.
Mhm.
Used to do those mix up shows with like a pop star and a rock metal band or whatever, or country and metal, and they would get together and do collabs on a performance.
Mhm.
And I watched one with a certain super megastar now, pop star, and she didn't pull it off.
Yeah,
No, there you could tell there was no auto tune.
yeah. Well,
It
and
was
what's crazy is they work those pop stars so hard that they like out like hard. And
Yes, they
they're
do.
just ruined after that. Like a couple, you can run the voice ragged. That's part of it too. But a lot of it is just, yeah, like so much auto tune nowadays. Like anybody can make music sound good, but then try to go do it live. And
We get anybody in the studio.
Yep, you can be anybody you want to be.
Mhm.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
now on this of myth or men,
Mhm.
the Damocles,
Damocles, yeah.
yeah, and I believe it was Mirror.
Uh-huh.
They're kind of short and kind of like almost like a poem to words, I guess you could say, poem to music.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I can't. My brain is not functioning right now, and I can't remember what the term is for that. But is that what they are? I mean, is this is like a concept album type
It is.
thing,
Yeah, it's a bit of a concept album.
and being that
And yeah, I mean, I could say that. You could definitely say that as like poetry and music. And I think that's just, I'm all about the lyrics. Like, I consider myself almost more of a writer than a musician. That's what I like obsess over is the words and the meanings and the meanings under the meanings. And so, yeah. So yeah, they're definitely poetic for songs, you know?
The Mirror Mirror, what is that about?
So yeah, let me think. That alludes to Snow White, right? Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and Mirror
Okay.
Mirror on the wall.
That's what I was thinking. I just
Yeah,
didn't want to
that's the
say
myth
it out
that
loud.
every song except for the Frozen Word has like an obvious like myth or story that it's alluding to.
Okay.
Snow White. And yeah, I mean, it's also sort of about relationships and how people treat each other and really mirror each other, you know, and sort of deserve each other, you know. Yeah, it's kind of a cool song. I like that one. That we use some harpsichord in that. Not real harpsichord, but MIDI harpsichord.
Yeah. But can we play that or?
Yeah, let's play it.
Okay.
Let me show you Scryer. Let me give you what you need. I will take you to your shadow. You will make me bleed. Cold as glass, unbroken, and reflective too. When you look at me, my darling, all you see is you. Mirror, mirror on the wall, time to say my name. You like to have me hanging around just for your own gain. You'll never look towards me on the surface. You'll never feel this dance holistically. That's okay because I'm not quite what you're thinking. You are the monster, but my love, I am the sea. You are the monster, but my love, I am the sea.
Dude, I
Awesome.
that song needs to be about 4 minutes longer, and I can hear a really good metal guitar and some drums kicking in,
That would be cool.
and then have it go into cut time, and have this big metal, in the middle of it with his blazing guitar solo. And dude, that would be perfect for some European metal bands.
Yeah. Totally, I can hear that. It is. It's really short, but yeah.
I could definitely hear a metal cover of that.
Yeah. I can see that too.
Some people think that their music doesn't, go good into metal, but there's a lot of songs out there that actually sound better.
Absolutely, yeah. No, and metal, like, there's a lot of like big, like, wicked metal out there, like where they're like singing opera and shit, you know? Like,
Oh yeah. I mean, I could totally, hear a metal of Rickroll.
yeah.
Everybody does the Rickroll. So. Polar, did you got any more questions?
I do want to say one thing. I'm looking at your website, and it's pretty dope.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks.
Dope.
Uh,
And you say you're on Spotify, iTunes.
I am.
Is it iTunes anymore? Or is it Apple Music?
I don't even know, yeah. I'm not an Apple person myself, so whatever it is, it's there. Spotify, Deezer, all the Tidal, all that stuff.
Thinking of
Cool.
a question should I throw at you?
What?
I'm thinking, what kind of question should I throw at you?
Didn't hear anything. Bowler,
Did
are
you
you
ask
talking to
her?
us?
Oh yes, yes.
We didn't, because you're only getting part of your words.
Oh, I was saying. I was thinking. I was wanting to throw one more question. But I didn't exactly get in mind what it was until now. Uh,
Dramatic pause.
oh, yeah.
Polar lost his place.
That's all right.
Eh,
I, who else would you? Did you ask her what other people she would want to like do music with, like
yeah,
in collaboration? You did.
yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that with Andrew Bird and all that. He's one of my favorite artists, and he collaborates a lot with people.
Okay, I got one for you.
Okay.
And I know you're not like, big. I asked Stick Up Boys this last week, but when did you ever, when you were a kid, did you ever say that you wanted to be a musician and, like the typical rock star dream, whatever? Did you ever think that it was something you would seriously pursue? Or was it just more or less it just fell in your lap?
Definitely, yeah, I did. Like, I mean, I got a degree in music, so I was definitely like, that was always just, it was like the one thing that I felt like I in life. No, maybe the only thing. Pretty much sucked at everything else in life. Not really, but yeah, like it was just, it's just like I said, kind of just always been in me, and I definitely knew that was something that was big for me, just music. And I mean, yeah, there, I remember I wanted to be an archaeologist
Ooh,
because
you're
I was
cutting
always
up
into
on
like
something.
digging up dirt and rocks and stuff like that. But music was always the
Man, you're cutting
With
up
your heart,
bad.
your heart was always mostly with music.
yeah, it was just like just born into it. Just I don't know, it's just one of those things. Like always drawn to it, and always.
That's
It's pretty
cool.
cool to be born into like music as well. I know Stick Up Boy said that they were born into music and uh well my folks weren't like musicians or anything, but it really became a passion for me since I was younger as well to make music, and it stuck to me, and I got from like being like yeah whatever to like just being a pretty good musician. So,
Mhm. Yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, it's just like in you. It's not really something you can explain. Kind of weird.
So I guess that's pretty much all the questions I can think of.
Cool.
do we have any more songs?
But
We
I'm
have
gonna
no
play. I'm gonna play December in Your Arms again, just because I like that song a lot.
Yeah,
It's- and it's right about. It should take us all the way to the end of the hour. So
sounds good.
there we go. You guys go check out crystalcasey.com. Go purchase her music. Ron, get on Julia and make her put it into rotation on MSP Waves, so I don't have to sit here and listen to my MP3 player all day. Here we go. December in Your Arms. Thank you for coming on, Crystal.
Thank you for having me, guys. It's been great.
It was awesome.
Have you found what you're looking for in the space that you hold? A distance you saw around your to gather comfort from the cold. I can remember when this came to be, but it feels like December in your arms, in your arms. Push away and down and over now, 'cause you came into the world betrayed. Can't rely on anyone, anyhow, and all the best things they come to fade. Don't you remember? You're right here with me. Well, it feels like December in your arms, in your arms. Put on my best Aphrodite, but Pandora is all you can see. It's the fear that you are breakable. It's the feeling that you cave that makes your heart seem so unshakable. But building walls don't make you brave. Try to remember how this used to be, 'cause it feels like December in your arms, in